Hi there. I'm Jefferson LaRouche, CEO, founder, Saberdog LLC, a small business from Santa Fe, New Mexico, established in January of 2019. Today, I'm going to be reading to you our newly revised terms of service, as well as our newly revised privacy policy. Effective date, November 14, 2025. Terms of service for Saberdog LLC produced and licensed content. These terms of service terms govern your access to and use of content produced and licensed by Saberdog LLC. Saberdog, we, us, or our, including but not limited to software, media, digital assets, and any related services. Collectively, the content. By accessing, using, or licensing the content, you agree to be bound by these terms. If you do not agree, you must refrain from using the content. 1. License grant. Subject to your compliance with these terms, Saberdog grants you a limited, non-exclusive, non-transferable, revocable license to access and use the content for personal or internal business purposes, as applicable to the specific license type provided. This license does not permit resale, sublicensing, modification, or distribution of the content without our express written consent. All rights not expressly granted herein are reserved by Saberdog. 2. User obligations. You agree to use the content solely in accordance with applicable laws and these terms. Not reverse engineer, decompile, or disassemble any software or proprietary elements of the content. Not use the content for any unlawful, harmful, or infringing purposes, including but not limited to intellectual property infringement or dissemination of malicious code. Maintain the confidentiality of any proprietary information contained within the content. 3. Intellectual property. All content is owned by Saberdog or its licensors and is protected by copyright, trademark, and other intellectual property laws. You acknowledge that no title or ownership interest in the content is transferred to you under these terms. 4. Termination. We may terminate or suspend your access to the content at any time, with or without cause, including for violation of these terms. Upon termination, you must cease all use of the content and destroy any copies in your possession. 5. Limitation of liability. To the fullest extent permitted by law, Saberdog shall not be liable for any indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or punitive damages arising from your use of the content, even if advised of the possibility of such damages. Our total liability shall not exceed the fees paid by you for the content in the preceding 12 months. 6. Indemnification. You agree to indemnify, defend, and hold harmless Saberdog, its officers, directors, employees, and agents from any claims, liabilities, damages, losses, or expenses arising from your use of the content or violation of these terms. 7. governing law. These terms shall be governed by the laws of the state of New Mexico, without regard to conflict of laws principles. Arbitration clause. Any dispute, controversy, or claim arising out of or relating to these terms, including the breach, termination, enforcement, interpretation, or validity thereof, or the use of the content, shall be resolved exclusively through binding arbitration administered by the American Arbitration Association, in accordance with its commercial arbitration rules. The arbitration shall be conducted in Santa Fe, New Mexico by a single arbitrator. The parties agree that the judgment on the arbitration award may be entered in any court having jurisdiction. This clause does not preclude parties from seeking provisional remedies in aid of arbitration from a court of appropriate jurisdiction. The prevailing party in any arbitration shall be entitled to recover reasonable attorney's fees and costs. 9. Changes to terms. We reserve the right to modify these terms at any time. Continued use of the content after such modifications constitutes your acceptance of the revised terms. 10. Contact information. For questions regarding these terms, please contact Saberdog LLC at saberdogretailers@gmail.com. Our privacy policy. Effective date, November 14, 2025. Saberdog LLC, Saberdog, we, us, or our, is committed to protecting your privacy. This privacy policy explains how we collect, use, disclose, and safeguard your information when you access or use our content, including any websites, applications, or services we provide. Information we collect. We may collect the following types of information. Personal information, such as your name, email address, payment details, and contact information when you license or interact with our content. Usage data, including IP addresses, browser types, access times, and pages viewed, collected automatically through cookies or similar technologies. Device information, such as operating system, device identifiers, and hardware details. We do not collect sensitive personal information unless necessary for providing the content and with your explicit consent. 2. How we use your information. We use your information to provide, maintain, and improve the content, process transactions and send related communications, respond to your inquiries, and provide customer support, analyze usage patterns to enhance user experience, comply with legal obligations, and enforce our terms. 3. Sharing your information. We may share your information with service providers who assist in operations, such as payment processors or analytics firms, affiliates or business partners for joint offerings, legal authorities if required by law or to protect our rights. We do not sell your personal information to third parties. 4. Data security. We implement reasonable administrative, technical, and physical safeguards to protect your information from unauthorized access, loss, or alteration. However, No method of transmission over the internet is completely secure, and we cannot guarantee absolute security. Your rights. 5. Depending on your jurisdiction, you may have rights to access, correct, delete, or restrict the use of your personal information. To exercise these rights, contact us at saberdogretailers@gmail.com. We will respond within a reasonable time frame. 6. Cookies and tracking. We use cookies to enhance functionality. You may disable cookies in your browser settings, but this may limit access to certain features of the content. 7. Children's privacy. Our content is not intended for individuals under the age of 13. We do not knowingly collect information from children without parental consent. 8. International transfers. If you are located outside the United States, your information may be transferred to and processed in the United States, where data protection laws may differ from those in your jurisdiction. 9. Changes to privacy policy. We may update this privacy policy periodically. We will notify you of material changes via email or prominent notice on our platforms. 10. For privacy-related inquiries, please contact Saberdog LLC at saberdogretailers@gmail.com. Disclaimer. The content provided by Saberdog LLC is offered on an as-is and as-available basis, without warranties of any kind, either express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability, fitness for a particular purpose, or non-infringement. Saberdog LLC does not warrant that the content will be error-free, uninterrupted, or free from viruses or harmful components. Your use of the content is at your own risk, and Saberdog LLC disclaims any liability for damages arising from such use, including but not limited to direct, indirect, incidental, or consequential damages. This disclaimer, along with the terms of service and privacy policy, constitutes the entire agreement between you and Saberdog LLC regarding the content. If any provision is deemed invalid, the remaining provisions shall remain in full force and effect. Saberdog LLC recommends consulting with qualified legal counsel to customize these policies to your specific needs and to ensure compliance with applicable laws. Thank you.